You can check him out. Check out his work, and like I mentioned, there's like actually I might grab it just so you can see what it looks like in full color. All right, so that's his work there. Go down there because you don't want to see my crotch area. So yeah, that's Greg's work. That's his full color. This is from like about 10 odd years ago, I think. What year was this? The future. Yeah, where is it? 12 years ago, 2012. Yeah, it was quite cool. This book is, it's legendary. There's like the one and only, if I remember right. But yeah, there was some great work in this. I'm glad I bought it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a copy of it because it's, to show you at this point, right? This is why I collect New Zealand art. That's so that I can there it is. And, because not only that, but you also support fellow creators and publishers. So I wish that there was another one done, but like Funtime Comics is doing a lot now with that. And also we had Gary Della, great Gary Della from I'm totally blank. Sorry about that, guys. So over from Aussie, right? So we did an interview with him. Actually, should just look up the interview, right? Let me just go to the homepage here for a minute, and I'll be able to find out. And I'll give you a link to him. And he does an anthology series, which this is why I'm mentioning that I actually have going to be putting like a 10-page or 12-page short story called Behemoth comic book for be black and white because I haven't colored or anything like this, and it's something that we put out as part of our Sunspot magazine. But I found like more pages for that I paid for, so I have that. That's mine, and so I was able to put it out in our magazine that I put together. So I published one of my writer friends, journalist friends, who actually did the interviews and stuff for that. But I I designed the book. All 64 pages. I designed how each page looked, how it was all arranged, and everything. So I'll give you a link to that in a minute. So and that's on sale right now. So 64 pages. You can go grab it and be able to check it out. It's for $2, I think, digital. It's pretty cheap, I reckon. So 64 pages for $2. Here it is. So I'll put that in there, and then I'll also show you guys that while I'm talking about while I'm finding Greg's here we go. So amazing stuff in here, man. Like there's also, you get to see Shane's art. I keep showing Shane's artwork, and he's also got a comic book out. I hope this is the thing. Number 3's on its way out of this. Okay. Character, that's when he did the artwork there. Now he's turned the character into a comic book, right? And so and this is like the page for and I have that as well, from SN, this big huge historical comic, best in comics. One day I hope when there's volume 2 he will feature me in it, because that's what goals are, right? You should set yourself goals. There's also other artwork from other artists. I'm one of the points. I think I must reset my mouse. Bought a new mouse this week for cheap as, but it keeps turning itself off after 5 minutes or something if you're not touching it, right? I don't know how to fix that. I had a look online, didn't think it, so I'm going back to my old one. And so what I mean, like, it's like jumps about, rather than jumping 1, it's jumping like 3 or 4. So because I was playing around with it. So the great thing, is that it allowed it. Like, this is also a short story called Roboheart with, designed by Shane again. Like, so he did a short story like that. That's in a complete short story, right? And this is the what's available there, and the contents and stuff. this is that story there, The Job, you know, short story. So there's full color. It's a full color comic book, in magazine, but also, you know, some black and white stuff as well, depending on, you know, what the story is. And this is like the first time my, you know, my character was featured. But we've changed his design. The demon isn't changed. The placenta hasn't changed. The demon lord, but um, we've changed Templeton, this character here. His skin color is kind of a bit darker, I realize, but it's the same. It's, you know, brown skin color. And I know it's not based on me, by the way. I should say that. I just did this character, and that was that. But Templeton, he looks very different here. Like in the new look, it's totally different. I actually put a put something out about that today on our YouTube. But let me just show you that while we're just talking about that. So I mean, on our community thing. So if you're, you know, if this is your first time here and, you know, don't know about much what we do, it's basically about promoting and networking with other creatives. That's the only thing I can think of. Mainly what we do is indie comics. Huge, you know, promoter of indie comics. I talk to writers, publishers, artists, and so on, right? Because, you know, that's what I love, right? So why not talk to people who are similar minded, or same thing, creatives, right? So this is what I put it about the Templeton character, you know, what he looks like. So I can just show you guys that quickly, the new iteration, right? And then we'll move on and give you the Greg Della thing. So this is, you know, this is there a better picture? Hold on, that's just showed me that's not the right picture for that. So let me find I think it's on our publisher, yeah, on our publishing page, not publishing, a studio page, I should say. So let me go grab that, and then you get to see the new sort of look of him right now, like the updated version, which I changed like about 4 years ago, 2 years ago, because I wasn't. He looked too like stop bouncing around. He looked too normal, you know, if I can say that, if I can use that word. He looked very, you know, he didn't look like anything that would stand out, is what I mean. So this is it here. So this is a new Templeton look. Where are you? There it is. So this is what Templeton looks like now. Right? Long hair, you know, black coat, you know, long. He's got this metal thing here, like, which holds his gun and stuff. And he's got this waistcoat, zip down thing, you know, and, you know, and so this placenta, like I said, it stays the same. It just looks a bit, you know, this is actually coming out in probably August this year. Yeah, it's the next book that's coming out right now. It's being inked. So all the pages have been finished for the first issue, and this is the variant cover for it. So, you know, this is the one that I've actually colored and finished coloring the cover. That's why I'm showing this one. But this is the variant cover for that, and this is where Sangyum gets shown, and you get to see her for the first time. You know, what she's like, you know, and yeah, it's, so you can see, like, it's the only thing that hasn't changed is the skin color, because I want to give something, you know, it was kind of like, I didn't even know why I chose the skin color, to be honest. I don't. I think because I wanted to be like a Pacific Islander or something, and he's not Indian. I know that much, you know. So yeah, but I like oh, you know, it's basically a story about a soul collector, right? He's working for Hell, and so as you can see, he's coming in October. Sorry, later, probably might end of October. I don't know, because it'll take place after we finish Robotnation, I think, because we've got 3 other books being worked on right now. So if you know, it all depends on how quickly the coloring and inking goes, which gets out first, right? So hopefully you guys can check that out. But yeah, I need to find this one. I want to show you this. Where is this list? Why have I not seen the list there? Oh, there it is. So let's go back to the Greg Della interview where I was talking about, so we know about his anthology series that's coming out of Australia. And it should be in my list here somewhere. Greg Della. There we go. Reverie Publications. Right. So this, Reverie Publications, Australia. Right. Now, if I remember right, yeah. So you got like their channel, and they're promoting their channel right now. They haven't been doing it for a while. This is new. They've been setting it up and stuff like that. And I know that he's basically now he's really pushing that, because a lot of undo that. Oh gosh, it's going to get you guys the link. So here's the link for that. But also, actually, probably if you had the link for the interview, then you get everything, right? So I'll give you the link for the interview in the chat. Here we go. So, and plus you can find out more about how you, if you're a creator, if you're an artist or letterer or whatever, can get involved with that, right? Yeah. What did we do here? So yeah, they got some pretty cool stuff coming. I was quite impressed with this, and kind of made me want to think about, doing my own teaser for, doing something like that for my own teaser for Robot Nation. So that's why it's taking a bit more time, with what we're doing with Robot Nation, because more people are getting involved, more artists are giving, just this past week or something, one of my friends, web online friend, right, internet friend, who's becoming, very close, as communication wise, as we get to know each other. He actually said, "Hey, look, I want to do some fan art for you. Is that okay?" I go, "Yeah." So he's done that, and he's working on that now, and so I'm quite pleased to have people. The more people getting involved, the bigger the project gets. But also that means I got to add more pages to the book, right? So here's a cover that I'm actually coloring right now for Robot Nation, right? And I'm working on the flats here. I've still got to do these two. I just decide to take a break from that and then come and do this. And then when I go back, I'll be doing the like there's 3 tones that I'm working on. And then I'll go on and 3 colors, right? Color flats, and then tones. I'll work on that. So it's 3 different types. So you can see here, with this, you got like 3 different shades. Sometimes like here with the blues and same thing with here with the lady. I think I need to. I'm not completely happy with this at the moment. I think I might do some light grays, but I didn't want grays because the floor is gray, so I might have to go in there and maybe make the floor white. Don't know, or maybe brick colors, something like that. Because if I'm going to use gray, I don't want it to be too close to this color. So this is, and here's the thing. So when I got this sent to me, it was just black and white, right, inks. So I said, oh, I'll color it in, because otherwise I'll have to get somebody else, and they'll have their way. But this one I got to decide how I want it to look. And so there is this one, and then you've got other, like I mentioned before, this is the interior art. And then this week, right, while I'm on talking about this, I actually had one of our artists from, and here's the thing, I got to figure out which one was which, because I know that one's Portuguese and one's Spanish, right? So I had each one of these is different. So if you know how to speak Portuguese or Spanish, you'll know exactly what it is. So what I did was I said, like, because Robot Nation is such an important book for me as a release, because it's going to be the first one we released from Plunge, from our own Kickstarter page, Plunge NZ, right? Plunge NZ, right? that we would have to be something special, right? It's a standalone book, which means that this is a one and done, if we'd ever be once and done, but it's an ongoing series. So it allows to go into the stores or comic stores, because they don't have to worry for another year or 6 months or whatever for the next book. And so we offered them something as well. We said we'll give them a comic book store only cover for free if they buy the other lot, right? The pack that we put out. But also then I turned to my Portuguese speaking artist, and also to my, so there's a Spanish from Argentina and Portuguese from Brazil. So Portuguese speaking artists from Brazil. So who are working on their own 2 books with me, right? Did 2 different books. And I said, hey, could you do that for me? He said, yeah. So one of them did this page and one of them the others. So if you know how to speak that language, or read that language, you can, read it, right? And so yeah, it's so cool. I did the lettering, by the way, bubbles and all that. So this way you can see, it's 2 different pages. And is it the same one? Did I do? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, that's what it was, the difference. I was like, why is it the same food? So you can see wait, I think I know who I gave which page to. I think this is Portuguese, right? And then the other one is Spanish, right? So this is that one, right? So I figured it out, right? Because I was like, okay, I'll give 1 page to that and 1 page to that. So this is what's like, Trouble with Bobo, the first story, which is around about 18 pages, if I remember right. Yeah, it's 26 pages. So the other story is 12 pages, which is this one here, which is Robotnation, the title story. So yeah, so not only are we doing a one shot, not one shot, a standalone first issue. Not only that, then we're going to do it for the comic shops, right? I'll show you the cover for that. It should be here somewhere. Photos. There you go. There's the cover for it. So this is the cover for the comic shop. Only for the comic shop, because there's 2 versions of this cover. So this one's for the comic shop owners for free to buy the pack, and also this is the kind of like the standard cover, art by Francisco Conti, the cover artist, interior artist, right? Same person. That's something that we do for ourselves, which is like if you're doing the interior art, you get to do a cover art so that people know what's inside. You're not going to do bait and switch for the first cover, right? So this is a standard cover, and this is the color, what you call it, color samples. We're looking at doing for that because the Kickstarter will have color samples. Go back, right? So you can see what's in black and white, and then you got the color samples there for what we're going to be doing when it comes to color. And the other one here is just showing like this is the art, right? When the artist, this frustrates me. People just jumping in from everywhere trying to be Kickstarter, promoters and stuff, trying to make money off the back of us. But I mean, like, if you like our work, just share the damn thing, right? Share the link. That's all it takes. But yeah, so this is work in project for the same cover that we're giving away free for comic stores. So you get, this is I might actually put that in the book as well, because this book is becoming 40 pages or more, especially 36. But with all the all the amazing artwork and stuff that's coming in, and the fact that we're releasing it all in Spanish and Portuguese and English, it's yeah, it's going to be, okay, and so this is what we're talking about, like having, different stuff, because because of all the changes, I'm having to change all this as well, what we're going to do with the project. So yeah, there'll be some pretty cool things coming out. Also, I was talking about Art Victim, right? So Art did Art Victim did is working on a piece for us as fan art. And so this is his work here, right? And you can follow him, and all you have to put in there is at sign, and it's Art Victim. So this is his page that he's doing for us, and I'm going to figure out what it looks like and then where we can put it in the book. There's also a Christian Zaffo piece that he's done that I'm actually going to be also doing the flats for soon. Once I finish the flats for this one, I'll go and do the flats for that one, and then go and color. So this is how big this book has gotten. Like, it's only, it was a 36-page comic book, digital, right? Now it's going to be friggin' over 40 pages because of all the amazing work that's been offered up for free. So this is another cover, right? So there's this cover here. That's this one here. You don't see the full one, right? So this is like part of it, and that's just the top part of the body. Also, a female robot, and they was going to do 2 versions of that as well. Safe for work and not safe for work version. And so this is, the longer this takes, the more people want to get involved with us for this project, which is, I'm all happy for it. I'm also looking forward to it, because not only that, we're also working on a cover for Howler that's going to go in there as advertisement for that book that Andrade is doing right now, right? Luis is doing right now, who's working on this book right now, Howler. He's actually done the first page, and he's doing the second. He's done, like, we storyboarded the whole first book and actually part of the second book as well. And then because we need the characters, how they look and stuff. And so right now he's doing the cover for this that we can then put into Robotnation. This is why it's taking a bit longer, but also I want to make sure that we fulfill our Kickstarter before we go and put this book out. Kickstarter for Incredi-Girl. So if last year we put a Kickstarter out for Incredi-Girl #1, and so I got to fulfill that first, right? Before I put that this goes to people's hands before I can start a new project, because that's how are you going to trust me if I don't do this one first and get into your hands and then go, hey, back my other one? So waiting for this to get back from the printers and get it out to people. So the moment this is in people's hands, Robotnation, right, is going to be the next one out into people's hands. I mean, sorry, next one to Kickstarter. But Kickstarter, that Robotnation is such a I'm so proud of this book. Here's the thing, I don't put out a book unless right now into Kickstarter unless I'm proud of it. And so we offered up, I put the black and white out so that people could see what the book was, that you could actually read it, right, in black and white, before, you got sample pages, you could go see it. And then you also showed that, like, these are some, this is what not safe for work, variant cover that we're releasing. And this is the one I was mentioned earlier. I keep forgetting to change the image here. This road race sad image for the for the comic stores, and then you got the regular cover, right? So it's only for $2.40 US right now, which is around about it's about $4.50 New Zealand, right? It's pretty cheap. Talk about cheap, right? Well, expensive, right? I saw I just saw a video for a promo that came out with another, like, for a comic book promo art book, which is about 10 pages long, including the cover, like the front and back cover. Then you got 8 pages inside. That was released as part of something else, and what you paid for, you had to pay $75, and then you got that, or as an add-on. And I was thinking, 8-page preview book of somebody's artwork. What a fucking ripoff! Excuse my language. So if I was doing that, I'd grab all my artist, like all the artwork we have from, like, Francisco, from friggin' James, from Constantino, from Shane, right? From Louise, from Joachim, from Thomas, right? From Kevin, who's the artist on, and I'll get like 4 or 5 pages of each of their work and then put that. So it's actually another whole book, not give you 8 pages. And I thought that was quite sad to do that, like, you know, especially if somebody's paying 75 bucks. I don't understand this whole, this whole thing with crowdfunding where they've like expect you to pay more, especially if it's not variant, like overpricing. Because I know, you know, like I'm okay with paying 20 bucks for a book from crowdfunding because I know how much it costs to print. Because if you're just only doing like a couple hundred you know, issues, I mean copies, because you're not like putting a, you know, like a 10,000 books or 20,000 books into stores, because all those books are already financed, self-financed by the adverts that goes in. Like that's why they have like 10 pages of adverts. But when you start charging like about $30-$40 for a 20-page book or 25-page book, or whatever, you know, like a 32 pages, I would say, because 32 pages kind of standard, because 22 pages of like actual work art, I always try to go a bit more, 24, 26, so on. But you know, the other 10 pages are kind of like, you know, kind of like other covers, artwork, couple of pages of like 2 pages of promotions for your other books or somebody else's book. You got your interior, then you got your interior credits, and then you've got your first information page, which is what I always do: 1, 2, 3. So cover, interior, uh, inside credit page, info page, and then you go into the comic. And then after that, you go to back matter, some extra artwork, you know, pants, you know, something that, you know, you put in there just that is not actually in the part of in the book, or like sketches, so that people get a bit more behind the scenes of your artist's work, because it's not AI. So, you know, you got actual pencil paper work, some back samples of upcoming work, maybe even a poster for the next book in pencil. Oh, and then you've kind of like a letters page, what you've been up to, what is your, you know, what is info page about the artist, background about them, what they've done, or me as a writer, or what, you know, because you're not going to want to have me as a writer on every single book after that, right? Because you already know me. If you, I know if it's the next thing, you just go check out my, you know, YouTube channel or whatever. But the other thing is, then you can also, you know, help somebody else's book have their adverts in there. But I think it's kind of, you know, crowdfunding is such a great thing. I think it's just such a great thing. I think it's one of the greatest things that's happened to creatives. And I think, you know, we have to treat it with respect. You know, that's why I say, like, I'm not going to release another book on crowdfunding until that one's in their hand, right, of people, because I want to build a trust of our backers, of you guys watching this, so that you can trust me that when I say this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. One of the saddest things is like I'm having to deal with some issues that's out of my hand, and it's like that's kind of like really bummed me out. And so, you know, those days I feel like, why the hell am I doing this? But then I look at my artist's work, turns up, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. Thank you. Now I feel much better. Why? And I know why we're doing this, because you guys are doing great work, and I get to live my dream, right? All the 35 years of, you know, reading comics, and, you know, 20 years ago wanting to, you know, 15 years ago deciding that this is what I want to do, which is tell stories. Now I got a chance to do that, and crowdfunding's allowing me to do that. But yeah, I think, you know, anybody who's like, you know, like I said, putting down crowdfunding, I understand why they would. But if you're doing it to drag people away from it because you have something else to offer, just go offer you something else. But don't go poo-poo you know, somebody else's. So if that's how you want to do something, go do that something. But don't try to take, you know, try to make people not do what, you know, not back crowdfunders. So with that, the link for robotnation is there. And like I said, you can go check it out for $2.40 US, which is like about $4.50 New Zealand. Or it's like $4. Is it $4? Probably about $1.50. no, probably $3 Canadian or something like that. Aussie's pretty close to our own size. I think so. It's around about $5, $4 actually, might be $4 Aussie. So very cheap. Price of a coffee, man. No, can't go wrong. 28 pages of comic book story, plus also Francisco's amazing art, and he's actually put in something pretty cool from Isomorph. Yeah. So now one of the other things I've got here, I was going to bring up. Let's have a look at. Actually, while we're here, let's go have a look at where's Nobi? Nobi's there, right? Is that you, Nobi? I thought I had Nobi there. Hold on, give me 1 sec. I'll get Nobi up, and then because I want to see, if he's, it's his, if he's finishing the next 4 hours or something. So let's get more eyes on his book, because it's a really cool book. I mean, the artwork's really cool. I've read the first one. I did a review, so you guys can check out my review there, right, for the Origins. I think it's, So in the last hour or so, what was it? Yeah, he's gone up like another $40 or something. So that's pretty cool. And the link's in the chat, so you can go check it out. And if you don't want to buy it, you can do what right now. You can also go put some money in there. I actually did that myself, right? Chucked in $5 because I'm getting like my whole next thing that I'm getting from overseas is his books in print. So I get to that's how I'm. But still, I still want to put some money down, because I got to have a digital copy of Outbreak and a couple others, and so why not, right? So yeah, go check out Nobi, have a look at all the amazing work. Like I mentioned earlier, we were talking about it, like Art Victim did put some work in here, who's also offered, as I mentioned just before, he's doing a piece for us. So I'm quite really cool and excited about that. And give Art Victim a follow. It's at Art Victim on here on YouTube and on Facebook and so on, as well as at on Twitter, right? Because it'll be cool, because he's supporting us, and I want to support people. The other thing I want to so let me just go back to this page, to our page, and like at the moment it's not complete, right? And it's not set it's just there. I haven't finished it because I'm still going once I've got all my art worked out, I'll be able to go in there, put up the pages. So let's have a look at the basics for robotnation Kickstarter, right? Is it specific basic? So that's what it's going to look like at the front. Mature sci-fi horror styles. Let's go there. Rewards. What are we looking at when we go to this? Right, so you need to go through this, clean it up, some of the sample stuff that we're looking at, got the safe for work, not safe for work, virgin print, and so on. And then there's like limited set series of stuff. And also we haven't added in like, what the comic book sets will be. And you'll see these are all in New Zealand prices. So it's like very high. And like when you look in America, it's like half the price, right? So yeah. What was it like? Full color digital, it's like about $5, right? And then like it's about 15 or something, and a full color, print. But then after that, it'll just go up, whatever it goes up, depending on what we're doing with it. I was thinking about doing a black and white and a color set, but I don't think anybody wants to print black and white set if you got color, right?